All right, we're about ready to head into the Rubicon Trail with a good group. Steve and Dalton from Rugged Radios, Kelson from SSV Works, Paul from Hart's UTV, and another buddy, John Duckworth, with his Can-Am. So I volunteered to bring a stove and a barbecue. So in looking at room, I decided to go ahead and bring our X3 Max. This has the back seats removed and the Alpine Designs racks. We've got actually a new rack in here which goes all the way across, and this gives us a bunch of storage underneath the rack and tons of storage room in here. We've got our Camp Chef stove and 2 coolers, one for food, another one just for ice for camp cocktails and everything, and another one up here just for today's food and drink on the trail, easy accessible. We're going to be camping for 2 nights up at Rubicon Springs, and it's super nice to have this much room to be able to store stuff. In the back, we've also got our Assault tire carrier, and underneath it is a TMW bag, so we've got a bunch of stuff in there. It's the disadvantage to this in the rocks is it is a long wheelbase.
Nicely done, John.
Be careful, Duck. I've got to take like a... All right, we're at Buck Island. See how beautiful it is behind me?
Oh, what's
Paulie's car.
this beautiful car right here?
Yeah, unfortunately, the steering rack came out of the frames.
Disassembled from the frame.
Yeah, so Paul's gonna leave his Razor here.
Oh yeah, now tell everybody.
Come and get it. It's at Buck Island. Feel free. If you can get it out of here, it's yours.
No. Do I
And
take the antenna? That
I would take the antenna.
Absolutely. Oh, the antenna.
Yeah, take the antenna.
It's not mine.
Yeah, there you go.
On the tire.
And
No, it's
and
fine.
we've loaded all of Paul's stuff. It's hard to see, but my entire back seat is filled with Paul's stuff, and we've added a little bit over there in the
That's what happens when you have a limo.
Rugged Radios KRX.
It's queen size.
Queen size blow up tent.
Blow up doll, something that is.
Got to have comfort, but all the rest of his stuff is in the limo over here. So off we go to Rubicon Springs. Look at it now, because Ducky, to make room for Paul, took all the crap out of his car.
Correct.
Didn't want to disturb his bed with his lonely cooler right here, and instead I've got all the Ducky stuff plus all of Paul's stuff in my car, because mine's a 4-seater, of course. All right, so we just got back from the Rubicon. I've emptied the Max out, but haven't cleaned it at all. I want to give an overview on the trip and how this vehicle worked. We brought the Max because we needed to carry extra gear, a couple ice chests. I volunteered to bring the stove and barbecue, and it worked excellent. Tons of storage room in the back of the Max, especially with the rear seats taken out and the Alpine Designs rack in here. We've got tons of space underneath each side, and nice space up top there. We fit all kinds of stuff in the car, and it worked great. As far as the Max on the Rubicon, the biggest downside is the wheelbase. I mean, it is a really long car. To help with that, we added these System 3 XCR 350 tires. These are 35-inch, so that greatly increased our ground clearance, and they're mounted on System 3 wheels. We did hit the rocker panels quite a bit. We've got some scuffs on that. And realistically, if I had more time before the trip, I would have added factory UTV rock sliders and maybe a full skid. The skid on the X3s is pretty decent. It's about 3/8 inch, and it has full coverage. So unlike a 4-seat Razor where there's barely anything under there, the Max has pretty good coverage. We've got HCR trailing arms and A-arms on this, and they're high clearance, so that did give us a little bit of extra clearance up front and in the rear. We've got Super ATV Rhino 2.0 axles all the way around, and we also have shock therapy dual rate springs and limit strap on that. The dual rate springs definitely helped, kind of gave a little bit more plush ride, but also with the extra weight in the car, it helped support it, and it wasn't dragging its belly all over the place. That's a huge deal, is making sure your vehicle is set up with all the weight and the proper ride height. Because if you go in and with stock springs and haven't changed the ride height at all, you're gonna be dragging over and you'll have a miserable trip. In the back, we've got HCR radius links, and they're high clearance as well. Held up no problem. We've got the ZRP radius plate and these radius dog bones, which are really cool. In the back, we've got this TMW bag and rack that just snaps right in place, super easy. And what makes that accessible is the Salt Industries tire carrier that flips up and allows you to have that have access down below there, which is key. SDR Motorsports cage on this, PRP seats, and rugged radios and intercom and blower. That was key on this trip. We all had radios and excellent communication between all the different cars. That's just a huge deal. Cannot say enough about having proper radio communications from car to car on this type of trip. So overall, if you've got a 4-seater and you're looking to go to the Rubicon, it is definitely doable. There's some tight spots where you're going to have to back up and take it a little bit different line, but certainly doable. Tight, like I said, in a few spots, maybe a few extra backing up and 3-point turn kind of things. But overall, great trip. Car performed perfect, and couldn't ask anything more of it.